She was into life. She loved living.
On the night between February 21st and 22nd, 2015, this 19-year-old woman, Toveet Radcliffe, became the first African Hebrew and the first African American to die while serving in the Israel Defense Forces.
They say it's suicide, just a bunch of lies. Don't open your eyes wide, butterfly roam the skies. Listen to your people cry. Justice for Toveet, justice won't be denied. They say it's suicide, just a bunch of lies. Open your eyes wide, butterfly roam the skies. Listen to your people's cry. Justice for Toveet, justice won't be denied.
For nearly an entire year, the Israeli army would not tell her family who was responsible for her death. After 11 months, the army submitted to Toveet's family a report claiming that no other person was involved in her death. In other words, the Israeli army claims that Toveet took her own life. But Toveet's family and friends say that she was a happy person and that she had no reason to take her own life.
Everybody loved her. You know, everybody that she met, she always touched their soul and their spirit. She was very happy.
Evidence that is contradictory, evidence that has been tampered with, and evidence that has been censored.
They say it's suicide, just a bunch of lies. Open your eyes wide, butterfly roam the skies. Listen to your people cry. Justice for Toveet, justice won't be denied. They say it's suicide, just a bunch of lies. Open your eyes wide, butterfly roam the skies. Listen to your people's cry. Justice for Toveet, justice won't be denied.
The report states that Toveet was shot to death by her own weapon, a shortened M16 rifle. The army did not bother to employ the services of a scene expert to explain how Toveet might have died, so we'll have to figure out the scene for ourselves. Evidence that is contradictory, evidence that has been tampered with, and evidence that has been censored. Number 1. From behind the barrel, Toveet's arms were not long enough to have physically reached the trigger. She could not possibly have shot herself in this manner. Number 2. If Toveet's left hand had been holding the barrel of the rifle, gunpowder and burn marks would have been found on her hand. Neither were. Number 3. No blood or tissue from Toveet's head was found sprayed on the door that Toveet had been standing directly in front of. Number 4. If the rifle had been fired in the manner that the army asserts, it would have kicked back forcefully into the window of the security booth. After the incident, however, the booth window showed no signs of cracking. Number 5. Toveet's lifeless body was first found in the security booth, sitting down on a chair, pulled up close to the table in front of her. If Toveet had shot herself in the manner that the army says that she did, she would have dropped down where she stood, at the back of the booth. Even if she had done as they say and dropped down into a chair, how would that chair have moved forward on its own without anyone's help?
They say it's suicide, just a bunch of lies. Open your eyes wide, butterfly roam the skies. Listen to your people cry. Justice for Toveet, justice won't be denied. They say it's suicide, just a bunch of lies. Open your eyes wide, butterfly roam the skies. Listen to your people's cry. Justice for Toveet, justice won't be denied.
The testimony of Soldier S and the decision to cover it up reveal that the base commanders knew of Toveet's death well before midnight. Therefore, the discovery of Toveet's body at midnight could not have been a surprise. Rather, it turns out to have been staged theater, scripted to explain away Toveet's death as a suicide so that the real circumstances of her death could be covered up. Just hours after the incident, Toveet's body was examined by a police pathologist. The pathologist notes that by the time Toveet's body arrived at the police station, it had already been washed. This is highly suggestive of an attempt to erase evidence. Evidence that is contradictory, evidence that has been tampered with, and evidence that has been censored.
She died from food poisoning. I said, was it food poisoning? I found her asleep. And she said, no. She said she was shot. I said, she was shot? I said, how? What do you mean she was shot? At that point, I crawled and got up, and then I fell back down, and I crawled in the room, and the lady, this woman was following me, and I just kept asking her what she died in her room, by herself, how? And she just kept telling me she was in her room, and she kept telling my son. I did ask them that I wanted to see her, why her commander hasn't come down here yet, and the girl that found my daughter's body. And they said they were very upset and everything. They said they couldn't, they was traumatized. I know if that would have happened to someone else, I would have been there at their parents' house. And I would have been trying to let them know everything that I saw and comfort. I would have tried my best to comfort them. And I was there with their child. I never felt good about that.